Stream.
2, 1. And we live.
What's up, everybody? Troy, I don't know. You gotta take it, man. Like you gotta own it. You're the one starting it. You're the one recording.
Yeah, well, like
Own
okay,
it.
so am I like all of a sudden the host? But okay,
Yeah,
I'll take it from
own it.
I'll take it from here. Yeah. So we are live here from a random Thursday. It is Thursday, right? Yeah, it is Thursday. Random Thursday in the week 4 of January 2022. Corona restrictions are almost over in the country of Denmark, and I've had a little bit of scotch with a friend of mine tonight, and we will explore some interesting topics tonight. We have here on the corner my faithful co-host Patrick, and then we have Jameski and Pypski. Hello, you all. Welcome to this special episode. What do you think?
Hello.
So, what do you think about the COVID situation in Denmark, and like about the opening up of our society, of the lifting of the restrictions here?
You need to tell me about that.
Well, it's basically what it is. It's like no more corona, no more mouth guards, no more like nothing. It's basically like it never existed.
I was going to say, how in the hell can you expect Jameski and Pypski to know about the Danish
why would I know that?
Yeah, right.
No, but that
You might have read something.
Like,
but...
I didn't ask them about that. I was just asking what they think about that we lift all restrictions. That's a very big distinction.
Right.
I think
Personally,
that's fine if your country is fine with it.
Yeah.
And
personally, I'm fine with doing away with the masks. I mean,
in my opinion, it was bound to happen sooner or later, because at some point you gotta say fuck it and learn to live with it.
Yeah, but in our case, it is because the what do you call it? The willingness to become vaccinated is so high. Like the latest number I heard was that 97% of all the plus 50, everybody who is plus 50, 97% of those people have been vaccinated in Denmark for the 3rd time.
yeah, I mean, it's not gonna go away, and it's gonna be like the flu. There's gonna be a new strain all the time, and like we're gonna wear masks forever, stay in our houses forever.
Well, we are not in Denmark.
Yeah,
in Denmark we don't have to anymore.
Right. I mean, the rest of the world, I mean, is eventually gonna have to follow suit. I mean, we can't just.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see us wearing masks forever, and I mean, you either get the vaccine or you fucking die. I mean, it's your choice now.
Well, I mean, just because you don't get the vaccine doesn't mean you're gonna die, though.
No, but I mean, it helps prevent that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the problem though is that you gotta take the vaccine in order to be part of the club. A lot of the places, right? Since with being unvaccinated, it heavily restricts your travel movements to some countries, right? Like Australia, that doesn't want to let you in unless you are completely fully vaccinated. I don't know if they also require you to be boosted. Like referring to that tennis player that was like denied entry to play in.
Yeah, that was fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
Really, like he already got it.
Yeah.
Like he caught the virus. Like he has better immunity to it than the people that are vaccinated.
Yeah. And apparently they chose the reason for like not letting him stay and play was that they were afraid that he might inspire people not to take the vaccine. So they were like afraid of him like creating that movement. But I don't know, like I thought it was fucked up because he had already had it. He was immune at the time. He was willing to wear face masks. He was willing to keep distance. He was willing to be isolated. He was willing to stay in quarantine until he could play. fucked up.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely is.
How is the corona restrictions in Hungary?
There's not really like we don't have anything like really big. You still have to wear a mask when you're inside and on public transport.
Yeah.
Um,
But like, do you gotta like show that you are either tested or
no, they don't have all that. But if you want to cross the borders, you have to have your vaccination. You know.
Yeah.
And they're saying that I don't know if they're doing this in the rest of Europe or how else the rest of the world works, but they're saying you have to have a vaccine every 6 months or 9 months or something like that, minimum. So it's kind of like saying like the people that got their third booster, you know, let's say you just got your shot. You're going to get your booster shot in June, and then next year your shit is going to expire. Then what happens?
No, I don't I think like we know too little about it, you know, like for side effects of the vaccine and stuff to know that, because it surely doesn't sound healthy to get shot like 2 shots a year, a jab every year. Yeah,
on top of the flu shot.
On top of the flu shot, like that doesn't sound, you know, like really really good, right?
On the other hand, like I've been thinking about this a lot lately. You could say that, I mean, all they're doing is just giving you the same mixture, the same serum as you've already gotten into your body. So all they're doing is injecting more of the COVID RNA into your, like you're basically just getting more cells of the RNA from the COVID into your body, and like, if your body is already accustomed to that, then what is a few more going to do?
I don't know. Like I just don't like being shot full of stuff in my body every year.
No, but I mean, if that's what the health and safety or health and safety stuff, I don't know. Yeah, Sundhedsstyrelsen. I don't know. My English is fucked tonight.
If
that's what they recommend, then why not?
Well, I don't know. Like, the problem isn't that they are recommending it. The problem is that it is being made a requirement for certain things. No. Because as long as it is recommended, I don't give a shit. But when it becomes a requirement that you have these 2 shots in order for you to travel and move freely around the world, then I think it's a problem.
Yeah, definitely. So, and you still have to have it when you get to Germany, of course, because they are high on restrictions down there, and like no other country, like Germany has always been hardcore on bureaucracy, and and this whole COVID situation is where they can like really use their OCD bureaucracy ness to fucking show off.
Man, I gotta say that.
Did I tell you guys that story from when I had to get tested in Germany over the holidays, over the Christmas holidays? Like, I got tested. It was a quick test, and I had to. The dude who sat there. It was a dude, first of all, who sat in a tent that was like 10 square meters big. And there was only this one dude sitting in there without a laptop, just with a paper and pen and a couple of fucking test kits.
Oh man, that's right. That's right.
The dude walks to the cars and just fucking pricks a stick in your nose for literally, I shit you not, literally no more than 2 seconds. And then he's like, "Yep, you probably don't got COVID."
Oh man,
and fucking writing it out on paper by hand.
I know, like I've seen that when I've been in Germany too. Like old people at restaurants comes with a fucking piece of paper to show them like that they're corona free. Holy shit, man! It's 1980s.
Fucking nuts, man. I mean, it's like they're still stuck in a paper bureaucracy in Germany.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. It's they're and like the vaccination willingness in Germany is also like shit. It's like there's what you call these people that are called the querdenker, which is probably what you would translate to people who think very alternative and very weird. So and they like gathering in these demonstrations and these rallies
regarding
COVID.
I'm like, sorry, man. Like, I feel like we're like taking up like all of Jameski and Pypski's space. You guys got anything you want to say or like on this?
No, it's good. You're good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Like, Troy, like this reminds me of like when I saw this anti-vaccination protesters in Austria. Holy shit, man! Like translated from German for like one of these guys said, leader or something of this protest group, that the whole thing was a conspiracy and blah blah blah, and it was all part of a big plan and stuff, right? That the reporter asks him, a big plan to do what? And then he turns around to the reporter and says, "Yeah, that's the big question. What is the plan?"
Wow.
Holy shit, man.
I mean, like the answer would be like depopulation, right? Because a lot of people have talked about depopulation. Generally, what they're doing with depopulation is teaching Planned Parenthood, basically giving women access to information so they know how babies are made, basically, and how to prevent babies, you know?
Yeah.
Or how to raise a baby healthily, you know? So you don't have to have like 5 kids hoping that one will survive. You can have like 1 and it'll just survive.
Wow.
You know, I recently checked this on Wikipedia. This is like, of course, a sidestep from all this Corona talk, but I recently checked what is the maximum amount of kids per woman that is being born in the world. And you know what country is having the maximum of that?
India.
Somewhere in Africa.
No,
India.
it's Nigeria.
That's in Africa.
In Africa.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I was saying no to OB.
somewhere in
Africa. No.
Right.
No, it's
Nigeria, huh?
And they have 7 kids a mom.
Wow.
But
Holy crap,
so
man.
apparently nowhere in the world is there any average family that has more than 7 kids anymore. That was back in the Middle Ages, but not
They
anymore.
also have a different kind of belief system. Like a lot more women in that region, they really want to have a lot of kids, like lots and lots of kids. Like
Why?
It's not a belief.
completely different.
And it's not a belief system. It's an ancient nature that goes all the way back to goes all the way back to the Stone Age, where you had or the animal kingdom for that matter, where having a lot of kids ensures that one of them will at least survive, and then.
Well, no, I think a lot of women all over the world, like forever, have thought I have a lot of kids hoping that one will survive. Yeah, of course. I don't think Nigeria
that's
is
not the
unique
case in
that.
our society. That's not the case in the Western societies where people focus on their careers and
because women in the Western society know that their child is going to generally survive.
Yeah, of course,
Yeah.
but it's also become.
But I'm saying, like, a lot of women...
having a kid in the Western society is also much more of a project and much more something that you're invested in rather than just.
So are women in Nigeria. I'm saying that the big difference is women in Nigeria, like, they really like. I don't know how to express this to you, you know, given our gender differences, but as a woman from the West, like, I want a kid maybe someday. Like, if I was a woman from Nigeria, I would be like, I want a kid now. Like, I don't care if I'm poor. I don't care. They want children. Like, genuinely, like, I just want to have a kid.
Can I like ask, like, why would you want that?
That's just what they want. That's for whatever beliefs or whatever's going on in their world.
It's nothing to do with beliefs. It's just in their culture. It's just because it has nothing to do with
it could be
religion
cultural,
or
yeah.
anything.
But
it's just that natural instinct. It's because Africa is still far behind the rest of the world with regards to technology, with regards to social services and all that.
I mean, like, I'm just like thinking that that I would never have a kid unless I knew 100% that I could provide for it, right? He or she.
Right. Yeah, it's a very Western ideology.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. But that's not how if you just go back like 500 years back to the Middle Ages, it was the same way in France and Germany and Denmark, like that. You just, because also you had the pest, and you had all kinds of diseases, so you just needed to have a lot of kids. And back then, the whole society was based a lot more on around the family structure rather than getting benefits from society. It was a lot more. You were you grew up in the same household. You lived with your grandmother. You lived with your father. You lived with your brother and sisters.
Let me ask you something. Would there even have been any benefits from society? I don't fucking think so.
No, fuck no. That was
You're all on your own. Holy shit, man.
And like countries that are a little like that today is like Spain and Italy. Largely the Catholic countries, actually, because they still have this ideal that the family is like, you have the Italian La Familia.
Yeah. But like Italians still live in generational homes, like 2-3 generations under the same roof.
Yeah, and that goes back to that Middle Age instinct of just like the family being the center of society.
Yeah, but the contradiction though to Italy there is that the birth rate is going down. People are not having kids in Italy.
No, but that's. I don't know. That's some other factor. I don't really know how, but that's a general tendency in all of Europe. I mean, the only countries that really have a decreasing birth rate is India and China.
You mean increasing birth rate?
Yeah, that's what I said.
No, you said decreasing.
Oh, whatever.
Yeah. Wow. Well, I don't know.
Yeah, man. It's definitely interesting, but it's definitely going to see. I mean, we've lost so many people with COVID already. So, I don't know how it's going to look.
Yeah, but have we though, really, in the big picture?
I mean, it's already on 500 million people worldwide.
That has died from it.
Yep.
Okay, and is that anything more than the pre-COVID death rate that was globally on like 500,000 deaths a day?
Yep, definitely.
Really?
Yep.
You can see that? Wow. Okay.
I am.
Oh yeah, the COVID has definitely drastically spiked the amount of people dying for sure.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's actually even more than that. It is 5.6 million by now, worldwide, who've died from COVID.
5.6 million.
Yeah.
That has died from COVID.
Yeah.
In 2 years.
In 2 years. That's a lot more than the usual death rate of the world.
Nah,
no,
man.
We can Google that.
Nah.
We can Google that.
We could, like, if you say that the natural death rate in the world is like 500,000, then 5.6 million deaths globally for an entire year isn't that much. But because like that's less than 15,000 a day, less than 7,000 a day. It's not as bad, you know. But I don't know.
Man, and all these statistics that I'm trying to pull up, they only go to 2015 fucking bullshit statistics that don't show shit.
Yeah. How is the COVID restrictions in California, Jameski? You still need to wear face masks and stuff?
It's like mostly based on what the business is gonna watch you for, but there is a mandate that if you're inside that you're supposed to wear a mask.
Okay.
But how people enforce that, you know, is
that's different. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the same at the gym I'm going to. You're also supposed to wear a face mask, but nobody does, and nobody's enforcing it.
Right. I probably wouldn't go to a gym right now.
You wouldn't?
Not everybody's vaccinated here, so yeah.
Oh
No.
right. Oh right. No, okay, I get that. I've been lucky though. Like the times that I've like been there, I usually go like in the morning, and there is just 0 people there.
Oh yeah, here I have something. So this is macrotrends.net. I can send it to. I don't know. Should I just
In the chat?
I'll just send it to you, I guess.
I'll just put it in the chat. I want to see this. Macro trends.
So here we have we have a UN projection that is actually a lot higher than anything it has been since the 1950s. So in the 1950s we had a death rate of -2% compared to today, and then we have at 2019 it was at -0.3%, and then in 2020 or 2019 when COVID hit, it raised itself to plus
All right.
0.4%.
All right. I see that. Like, wow, it has had an impact.
No. So
Huh.
it even though it doesn't look like a lot on this graph, but yeah, it definitely has had an impact on the population of the world.
Wow. That's crazy.
And it probably would have been even worse if they hadn't implemented all these restrictions.
Yeah, maybe. Like, it's nowhere. There's no way of knowing, but yeah.
But the thing is, like, we would. Sorry.
Okay, we're waiting for you to finish your chip.
Fuck, man. Man, this is really as Joe Rogan as it can get. Like, just taking your time with the answers. Like, just fucking lighting up a blunt here. Being like, it's a good whiskey. Have you... Oh, yeah, by the way, Jameski Pypski, have you ever tried DMT?
Sorry, what?
Have you ever tried DMT?
No.
That's me neither. It's just Joe Rogan's typical question that he asks to all.
Have you ever smoked weed though?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, he's from California and I'm from Woodstock, so you know.
Of course, yeah. You know, like I have smoked weed, but like I've never had my own joint. So that's on my list of things to do this year. That's to like smoke an entire joint for the first time in my life.
You haven't smoked a joint yet?
No, man, because like every time I've had one, because like listen, man, like every time I like been offered one, it's like take a hit, man. But like I've never, and I hate that because like when it's about like drinking or smoking, like I don't want to share. Like I want it all to myself. Sorry for being selfish that way, but I just do, like, not only for hygienical reasons. So no, I'm like not had an entire joint to myself yet.
Not like me, who was just like wandering around my dormitory in Bamberg, Germany. That was pre-COVID still, and there's just like, hey dude, can I take a whiff? And here's a joint.
Yeah.
And then I like puffed that, and then I went to the next dude.
Yeah.
But that was my safe haven also because it was a lot easier to get access to. Like I had my buddy, the good old buddy, he shall remain nameless for this podcast, but whatever. Chris, we'll just say his first name, Chris, who supplied me with all kinds of interesting weed while we were down there.
I refuse to believe it's that difficult to find a supplier of weed, no matter where you are in Western Europe. There's always that someone, that one guy at your workplace or school or whatever.
It is easier. It's always been easier in Germany for some reason. And now that they're thinking of legalizing it, it's gonna become, of course, even easier.
Man, like that's like they're talking about legalizing in Germany.
Yes.
Holy shit! You guys know how hardcore Germany has been on smoking weed?
No.
Actually,
Okay,
actually,
it's
they
like
haven't.
yes, like
Do
Troy,
continue.
Troy, like because I went to school with a guy that was like caught driving while under the influence of THC in Germany, and what happened is that he lost his license in Germany,
Oh yeah.
and then because that's like a complete no go in
Yeah.
Germany, and then on top of that, he would not be able uh, to get this license back or take it again until he had gone X amount of hours to a psychiatrist, who would then report back to the authority on this, which would be like the county or city hall, or like some other paper desk jockey, and vouch for that. Okay, now this person is cleared and of sound mind and will never smoke weed ever again. And it's like, holy shit, like how would you determine that? So it could be like years until you will be able to get the license to drive a car back.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, right.
But people like I don't know, they're like, but of course I can only speak from my experience, and my experience with the weed on a dorm room in southern Germany is that police don't really care. Actually, we even had police come by. But that was that was actually the 4th of July, because there was some Americans that wanted to have the fireworks and stuff.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
And that was the first time I tried this snooze. What is this called?
Yeah, it's also called snooze in America. You can order it online.
Or chewing tobacco. Or whatever.
Yeah, like, it's two different things, because like chewing tobacco, then the tobacco is like raw cut and largely cut, but with like snooze, it's like very, very finely cut, almost like powderized.
Heaviest stuff I've ever tried. I mean, I tried it, and like 15 minutes later, I was lying in the grass, looking up at the stars and saying, "Whoa, pretty stars!" And then
with snooze.
Yeah, and then half an hour later, I was fucking lying in the grass puking.
Well, yeah, man. Because like, was it in a bag, or was it, like?
It was in one of these cans.
Okay.
These small flat cans.
Okay, because you also like have it where you get the tobacco totally raw, just like chewing tobacco, and you put that in your mouth.
On the lip. I put it on the lip.
And the lip, like, and it is just like, holy shit, because you get 100% of all that nicotine straight into your bloodstream in a matter of seconds.
And I'm a non-smoker. I'm not a smoker, so like probably it hit me even harder because of that. And the guy who tried it with me, he was also lying in the grass, but he didn't puke, but he was like, "Fuck, man, this is heavy shit," and he was a smoker.
Yeah.
So fuck, man. I don't know what that shit was. But anyway, the next thing I just realized is that like police, like there's blue lights that are coming from 4 different sides because there's police cars showing up, and then I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna get arrested now. But then it turns out it was just the fucking fireworks that they didn't want to.
Well, of course, like it is like also like situational judgment. Like a situational based thing that like the police need to see, like, okay, are we going to bust some university or college student for smoking weed? Because then we're going to be doing that every fucking day for the rest of our lives. Or are we going to let that slide and like just to say let bygones be bygones, and let's concentrate on like shit that really matters, like people that are driving under the influence in traffic on the fucking autobahn,
or firing fireworks in
the residential area, right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so that's crazy shit, man. That I figured out. But now doing crazy shit like that has become increasingly harder. But I don't know, like, man, what crazy shit are you guys doing over there in the good old US of A?
or have done in your
country
life.
of all to do crazy shit in.
What kind of crazy or what?
I don't know, anything crazy. You can share. Like, nobody's gonna listen to this anyway, so whatever.
Nah, some people will listen.
Yeah, some people, like the coolest people on earth, will listen to it. But,
Yeah.
I don't have anything crazy to report, but
Okay, have you ever fired a gun?
have I ever fired a gun? No, I don't. I've never grown up in a house with weapons, so
Damn, that guy Chris that supplied my weed, he like has 7 guns, and three of which he always carries in his car. So he has one in the dashboard, one in the glove compartment, and one under his seat.
Yeah, but America also has a lot of gun nuts.
But the thing is,
you gotta take that into consideration.
But the thing is, he says he's actually afraid of them. He's afraid, and that I found that so paradoxical. A lot of Americans have guns, but especially my friend there, he's like he hates firing them. He's just having them for self-protection.
Wow. Well, that sounds like a little excessive, but okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
But then you're also you're also getting like shit like this in America with commercials like have you ever been a victim of a home invasion? Wife getting raped, kids getting beaten and raped. If not, you will be unless you buy your weapons at Tom's gun store.
Well,
or whatever.
At least here in California, you're gonna get ads for like ADT security systems for that.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, okay.
Yep, but
I would suppose it's like more in Texas where they're advertising guns.
Yeah, California is civilized.
In Texas, they have the guns as their security system.
Yeah. Well, and you also have
get off my property.
You also have like the states where like open carry is still allowed, right? Like Arizona and shit.
Florida, I guess, or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. Like that was pretty much all I had for tonight. We are already on half an hour here. I don't know if we like if you.
No, we can keep going.
If you have some other topic, like yeah, sure. I mean, like,
no,
just, but I don't really have.
There is several like things that is going on right now in the world. I know you don't read the news, Troy, so let me fill you in.
No, I don't read the news. You do. You probably don't either. But I listen to the
radio. We are facing heavy financial recession.
All the news you read, yeah, exactly. All the news you read is like stock news.
Yeah, facing a heavy financial recession. And we got this shit with Russia. That's going to apparently increase the oil prices on a global basis, and just create more bullshit. I don't know what's up with Russia.
Have they invaded the Ukraine yet?
No.
They're going to invade. Russia's going to invade Ukraine, and the U.S. is going to fight Russia during fucking winter.
Tell me how this works. I mean, like, there's 100,000 Russian soldiers standing on the border to Ukraine. What are they doing during these days? I mean, like, are they just camping out there or playing Russian roulette or something until they can invade?
That's what they do. That is exactly what they do. Yeah. They camp at the border and they tell people that live there, like, this is our land, get the fuck off. Like,
well,
citizens. Yes. Correct.
You also have like the pro-Russian separatists, though, on the other side, on the Ukrainian side of the border, that are being paid to make the fucking mood a little sour, create some chaos, spread false rumors, and all this like troop movement shit and stuff like. But yeah, I don't know. Like, why the fuck are they waiting? Why just don't like invade now and get it over with?
Because Vlad still hasn't gotten the consent from the US.
He never will. He will never get the fucking consent to invade Ukraine.
And, but he's afraid. Vlad is obviously afraid because he doesn't know what the U.S. is going to do.
I don't understand. Like, why would they? I understand like why you would want to, because but why would you help Ukraine? They're not They're not a member of NATO.
And by the way, like the Russians have also been patrolling the Danish island of Bornholm, which is lying like very far to the east, and almost in Russian territory. In a Russian, no, it's in the Baltic Sea, but the Russians, they have delusions of grandeur, and if they fucking invade Bornholm, that is going to be the end of Russia, because Denmark is in the NATO. And all the simulations that have been run on Russia starting a war with NATO, which includes the U.S., leads to Russia losing. No, that's where that is
also,
afraid.
You should also mention that it also leads to Russia losing without the Americans' help.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Definitely. Right. But NATO is still like, I don't know, like, isn't the U.S. still a part of NATO?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, so that will be an extra cherry on top of on the victory.
Yeah.
For sure, man. So I'm not worried.
But yeah, okay, Pypski, like, what are they waiting for? I mean, like, they have been standing on that border since 2014.
The same thing that they're doing with fucking Georgia. They just stand there.
Why?
They just fucking to take the land.
Yeah,
they
but
stand
why?
there and wait until people fucking just give the fuck up.
Yeah, but they tried to take Georgia before and they failed.
No, they definitely got land in Georgia. Russia is right now occupying land in Georgia.
Okay. Wow. And we're just like but I don't understand, like, what are they gaining by it? Because
land.
Yeah, I know they're gaining land, but they already don't have control over the regions anyways.
I'm gonna get some water, guys.
Yeah.
Keep the conversation going, and keep it cozy.
Like, what? And if you were like, if you were like asking like any random Russian, this question, do you think that Russia gains anything? Like, or the average Russian citizen gains on anything about like us fucking invading these two countries and annexing them?
Probably not the average Russian citizen, no.
No, right? So
I'm willing to bet the average Russian citizen is against whatever the heck is happening. And if they're not against it, they've probably been propagandized so much that they don't know better.
Yeah. Wow. So again, like, what are they gaining on it? Natural resources?
Natural resources, farmland. It gives people in power can say, oh, other powerful person that I want something from, I'll give you this land over here where you can do anything you want.
Wow.
And in the case of Crimea, like, they get more citizens to pay taxes.
Yeah, I guess so. But the Russians are already paying bare minimum of tax. I think like 10% or so. So I don't know. And they're not making a lot of money. So like by annexing Crimea, I don't see them like getting a whole lot of like money in the box from that.
And the whole argument is, well, the people in that area, they voted to be Russian. Can you imagine if New Yorkers were like, they just voted that they wanted to be Canadian, right?
Yeah.
What do you think Canada would do? Nothing. They would laugh at it.
I don't think that they would send tanks over the border to New York. No.
Oh, that's cute. You voted. That's nice.
Wow. Yeah, I think like it's messed up. And I don't know, like I don't see Russia invading Ukraine because it would just but like imagine the repercussions. I mean, like it would definitely put a more cold relationship to the West and stuff, and put more tensions in it. What I don't understand is like why the fuck did Europe even let it go so far that they're importing nearly half of its gas resources from Russia.
Who else are they going to get it from? The
Well,
U.S.?
I don't. Well, no, but like,
Canada?
do you know how gas is being made?
Oh, we've covered that in a
Yeah,
previous
I know.
podcast already.
I'm just asking her.
But I don't
Yes,
remember.
I am aware of how gas works. Yes.
But it's being pumped up. It's a byproduct from oil rigs, right? There's plenty of oil rigs in the North Sea.
Are you mansplaining to me right now?
No, like we should have Pypski explain it since she already said that she knows how it's done. So
Yeah, no, but it's a byproduct of the oil that's being pumped up from the oil rigs, and I don't see how the oil rigs in the North Sea wouldn't be able to provide enough gas to provide the rest of Europe. Just cut England off it because they're not a member of the European Union anymore.
Yeah.
Or have it brought up from like other oil rigs closer or whatever.
But like, is
Yeah, that's
Russia?
infrastructure, though.
Yeah.
What?
That's infrastructure.
Yeah, that's
You have to
infrastructure.
pull money from somewhere else.
Yeah, you got to pull money from somewhere else and relocate it to Europe, and that's eventually going to happen anyways. Because if they do this shit, it will like really, and Russia don't get any repercussions for invading and annexing Ukraine. It should raise the question: do we really want to be dependent on this country for our resources?
No, of course they don't. But they also want to have good relations. I mean, like, everyone wants to be friends with everyone, but they also don't want to be friends with assholes, you know?
Yeah.
It's problematic.
But you can't be friends with everyone because somebody's always an
Well, if
asshole.
you're not friends with them, you go to war with them and people die. And generally, people don't want that.
In this case, you can't be enemies with somebody either because, well, what are they going to do? I mean, Russia, obviously, Vlad has delusions of grandeur and he wants to conquer the whole world. Are we going to let him do that? No.
I think what he's going to do is the same shit he does in Georgia. He's not going to quote unquote invade. He's just going to like be there.
Just be there.
I'm just going to be here. I'm just going to have a bunch of my Russian guys just here on this land. We're not invading. We're not attacking you. We're just here hanging out.
But
and every once in a while, someone will come up and say, "Get off our land," and they'll say, "Fuck off," you know?
As peacekeepers, quote unquote.
Right, yeah.
But he has been radio silent for a month.
Yeah.
He's saying he's saying no, like because like reporters are following him around. Like today or yesterday, he was like laying down like, what do you call them? You know, like that was what are you calling that thing that you hang on the door when it's Christmas in English?
A wreath?
Yeah, you know, like that big round thing with leaves. Yeah, a wreath. Okay, he was laying a wreath down at some, you know, some kind of like statue or whatever in St. Petersburg. But that's that. He didn't say anything to the press or anything. So no, he's been radio silent towards the press for the last month, not saying anything about the situation in Ukraine, and giving it all to like the other Secretary of Defense and whatever, what other secretaries he has.
He's not an idiot. He knows exactly what he's doing.
He's camping out.
He definitely doesn't want a war, and he knows that if he just straight up invades, like if he just like rolled the tanks into Ukraine or whatever, and they go to war, like it would be war, you know?
Yeah.
He's camping out.
I don't think he wants that. He's camping out.
He's camping
he's
out.
Doing
he's camping out in Novosibirsk in his lodge with his big grizzly bear riding around on it, having a blast because he got married. Because he got married for the 11th time.
I'm just like wondering like, what the hell's going through this guy's mind. I mean, like you got $40 billion in your bank account. You are in control of the largest geographical country on Earth, and still you want more? The fuck's the matter with you?
Yeah, that's peak of greed right there.
Yeah, that is peak of greed. Shit.
I think he thinks he's doing it for the people of Russia.
Really?
Yeah, I think
Wow.
that's what
and
he's doing.
I honestly
And more
think,
taxes,
and
more
like,
land.
Like the thing is, when you get to that point, and I listened to a podcast about this a couple of weeks ago, that was actually about this very thing, like about what is the mindset of these super rich people like Jordan Belfort and
Elon Musk,
and
Jeff Bezos.
There was some other guy which I can't remember. But like when you get to this level, as soon as you reach a level of like you have so much money that you can't spend it, you can't realistically spend it on like normal things that normal people spend their money on, like unless you buy ridiculous things, like if you have over $10 million, let's say, as soon as you hit that mark, it becomes not about the money anymore. It becomes just about you feel a part of something bigger. And I think in Vlad's case, he is so fucking rich, and he has so much power that he thinks he is the Russian people now. He honestly
that he is the Russian people.
Yeah, he is the Russian people, and he will do anything in his power to fucking increase the terrain of that country.
Wow.
And increase the what Hitler actually called, and I'm now fucking quoting Hitler, the maniac Hitler. But like what Hitler had, he had that Freiraum für das deutsche Volk. So like he wanted
translation.
He wanted free roam for the German people.
Wow.
So he wanted more room, because like Germany is a big country compared to Denmark, but compared to like the US and Russia, it's tiny, and there's 80 million people living there. So that is relatively small for 80 million people. So he wanted to expand the fucking boundaries of that country as much as possible, and that's what Vlad is doing. You also gotta take in consideration that half of Russia is fucking ice, is fucking cold fucking shit terrain where you can't live.
Yeah, but that's there. Yeah.
Yeah, but,
okay,
but so like a lot of that, like Russia isn't actually as big to live on as you think, because there's only a certain amount of Russia where you can actually live.
That's right. And like a lot of the north is like uninhabitable.
And Vlad has internalized that to the point of delusions of grandeur.
Yeah.
So he's like, I am Russia. I will pump out the Russian spirit to whole world.
Wow. I can only tell you like what I would do if I had like all the money in the world. I will be laying on some fucking beach, Caribbean, 27 degrees Celsius, getting some tan, scuba diving.
You're fucking white.
I'm saying that I would get. Yeah, but I can get a tan. I can get a tan, man.
You will look like a tomato before you get a tan.
I can get a fucking tan, man. I promise you.
I'm
built for warm weather.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
Tomato.
I am.
You're a tomato.
I'm not a tomato, no.
A man can dream.
Yeah, a man can dream.
Sure. But anyway, like we're sneaking up on an hour here, but
okay.
But we're doing good. Like we are on almost 50 minutes.
All right.
So I don't know if we should just round this special episode of The Corner off or what.
All right, I can. Yo, Pypski, you been to that communist museum in Budapest?
I have not.
You have not? Man, like I love that place. I also love the communist parks of Budapest, like showing how they built the parks during the Soviet Union, where it was just only concrete, no flowers.
I can do you one better. I was in the birth house of Karl Marx. Who is the
Where is that? Where is that?
That is in wait, what was the city that I was in this summer? Fuck man, why can't I remember that? It was not God damn, why can't I remember?
Okay, it was in Trier, Germany, right? Yeah, okay.
That's where my brother studied. Right. in Trier, which is like just on the very southwestern, almost at the border to France.
How was the house that he was born in? Was it big or small?
Oh, quite big. It's a museum now, obviously,
Yeah.
because he's like the father of the communistic ideas.
Yeah,
But
okay, I see like a large townhouse
it was large
on 3
townhouse,
floors, 4
but-
floors.
But actually, it was devoid of all kinds of sculptures. There was actually just one statue of Karl Marx in his garden, but other than that, there was not like anything like you would expect from these big castles they have in Germany. And they have a lot of castles in Germany from these big lords that dominated the 17th and 18th century. But there was none of that, and no paintings or anything.
Wow.
But that's the communistic idea that you like everything, that you share everything basically.
Yeah.
Everything, like you give up your privacy, and then you just you give yourself to the community.
Man.
Uh,
What was he standing for, Karl Marx? He was a communist. I know that. He was a communist.
He had the communistic ideas, but he was actually not satisfied with how it was implemented in Russia and China because of how authoritarian they made it. Like in his vision, everybody should be equal under the communistic ideas. Like the government would only have to be there in order to regulate the market so that everybody would be equal. But that's not what Russia and China are doing. Like especially China, they're just fucking saying, "Oh, you guys gotta move in order to so that we can build a museum there."
Fuck, man. Speaking of that, he was exiled from Germany. What the fuck?
Oh yeah.
What did he do? I mean, like it just says that he became stateless and lived in exile because of his political publications.
Where? I can't remember where.
It's on Wikipedia, but like I don't know like what publications. How can you be exiled?
It's probably the capital that was his big manifesto.
But
Not manifesto.
How can you be thrown out of a country for writing something?
Oh, there's a long history of that. I mean, like especially during the Nazi regime, a lot of fucking thinkers were banished to the U.S. Like I think Albert Einstein.
Shit,
I think Einstein was also exiled. A lot of poets were exiled. Heinrich Heine, I think.
For writing.
Yeah, for writing things in Germany.
What the fuck's wrong with humans, man?
No, what's wrong with Nazis? What's wrong with
Yeah.
Nazis? And in my opinion, everything is wrong with Nazis, because that ideology is perhaps even worse than communism, because Nazism is basically fascism plus racism. So you have fascism, which is authoritarian. You have like a leader that fucking like Mussolini in Italy was also the same thing, who was fucking guiding people and or not dictating to people. Like that's why you have the word dictator. But then Nazism is also like you implement a racist ideology that just extinguishes people.
Yeah.
So it's really. I don't know if it's the worst ideology.
I'm still saying humans, man, because humans came up with the fucking ideology. Anyways, man, this can be like continued. This can be like continued for another podcast. You want to round it off? Own it, Troy.
Yeah, all right. So I will say thank you to you guys, anyone who listened to this. It was a pleasure to talk with both co-host Patrick, Jameski from Cali, and Pypski from Hungary. Thank you guys.
Well, she's originally from
New York.
New York, right? Yeah.
Right. But you live in Hungary now, right?
Indeed.
as far as I understand. Anyway, so thank you, thank you all for this episode, and I will see you in the we will see you in the next episode of The Corner. And I only have one more thing to say,
which is
Okay, bye.
bye. And
Bye.
Like, oh my gosh.
don't forget to sub, motherfuckers.
yeah.
Like and subscribe.
Oh, right, yeah.
So